Yo, what is up everybody? This is K-Rail's Corner, and today we're going to talk about how to do a 48-hour fast. And it is fitting that we're going to talk about this because I'm about 22 hours into a 48-hour fast as we speak. So we're going to go deeper into the weeds on that, and I have some other things I'm going to address as well, so stay tuned. But you know how it works. Before we get started, we need to do a movement break. So I'm going to step back there, and we're going to do a movement break together. You ready? Here we go. Let me make sure I'm in frame. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to place our hands on the side of our head like this. We're going to step back into reverse lunge with our right leg. We're going to place our right foot on the floor. Then we're going to bring our left leg up and bring our elbow across to our knee. And then we're going to step back again and repeat the whole series. So step back, come up, bring your knee to your elbow. I'm going to back up a little bit so I'm completely in frame. Back to the right, twist. Back to the right, twist. Okay, you know what's happening? Now we're going to go left foot backwards. Left foot back, right knee up, left elbow. Left, right. You see what's happening, right? I'll tell you what's happening. That is a cross-body pattern. And it's a core exercise, and it's a lower body exercise. Basically, it's a full body exercise, and it's going to reset your brain, refresh your brain, and it's going to work your core all rolled into one and your lower body. So anytime you cross the midline of your body, which is this, you're going to fire up a lot of brain cells. I keep getting messages, so bear with me. That, my friend, is a biohack, and that's super beneficial for you. So when you're doing a movement break, keep that in mind, especially if you want to reset your brain and become smarter at the same time. Now, let's move on. Let's talk about how to do a 48-hour fast. Well, if you've never fasted in your life and someone pulls a, hey, you want to do a 48-hour fast with me on you, I'm suggesting not doing it. If you've never fasted in your life, I highly encourage you to do this. Start out small and grow tall. So what that means is first do a 12-hour fast. Yes, a 12-hour fast. Because a lot of you don't pay attention to what you're eating, and sometimes you eat at 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night, and you go to bed and you get up in the morning, and then you eat at 6 or 7 or 8. You haven't even gone 12 hours without fasting. So, highly suggest you do this. Stop eating at 7 o'clock first, p.m. that is, and do that, and then start your next meal cycle the next day at 7 o'clock in the morning, and do that for at least 2 weeks. So get adapted to fasting for 12 hours. And I always suggest trying to finish your last meal as early as you can in the evening. 7 o'clock is your absolute hardcore deadline. Try to finish before that. Now, once you get to 12 hours, increase it to 13 hours. Once you get to 13 hours, increase it to 14. Then go 15. Then go 16. Build your way up gradually until you can do 16-hour fasts easily, without any trouble and without even thinking about it. That's your first step. Then throw a 24-hour fast in, which is going to be a challenge to you. And do it once, maybe like once a month for a few months in a row. And once you're able to hit that 24-hour mark, then you can chunk off a 48-hour fast. Because from 24 to 48 is it's kind of like a simple step, to be honest with you. Because when 24 hours is up, instead of eating to break your fast, your hormones are going to go back down to normal. Your ghrelin and your leptin are going to come more to balance after about 16 to 18 hours, meaning your appetite is not going to be spiked as much. So if you can make it to 24 hours and you get used to doing that once a month, then all of a sudden, when the 24-hour mark comes up, just go to bed. That's right. Go to bed, go to sleep, and then try to sleep as long as you can the next day. You're going to wake up and you fasted all the way through the night. You've added another 8 to 10 hours to your fast, and then you have to go all psychological from there and say, you know what? I get to eat tonight at 6 o'clock. I'm so excited. So 10 o'clock in the morning, if your hunger spikes, which it probably won't, it'll stay maintained. Like right now, I'm 22 hours into a fast. My appetite is steadily gone like this all day long. My brain function is going up. Appetite is going down. Energy levels going up. Appetite is going down. That's the magic. That's the key. So, first of all, to do a 48-hour fast, I highly suggest first weaning yourself up to that point, building yourself up. Start with 12 hours if you've never fasted before. Get to a point where you can do time-restricted eating in about a 16-hour window every single day. Then throw in a 24-hour fast once in a while, maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 weeks, even once a week. If you can get to that point, even better. And then throw in a 48-hour fast. So first of all, that's how you should execute a 48-hour fast, first of all. Secondly, during a 48-hour fast, what do I have written down here? Okay, this is what I do. I've got this, my water bottle, and I've got this. This is sea salt, so this is what I do. I will actually go in action for you right now. Put some on my tongue. Don't gag on it like I just did. I chomp on it. Appetite, gone. 2 seconds, gone. So, you can eat your sea salt, especially during the first 16, 18 hours, is usually when your hunger is going to be the most spiked. I need some water, hold on. So, sea salt and water. Those are my two go-tos when I do a 16-hour fast, an 18-hour fast, a 20, 24, 48, 60 hours, 4 days, whatever I'm doing. It's sea salt and water, and that's it. Because I want to ensure 100% that my body and my organs are at complete rest and nothing's happening, and I'm fasting. Now, if you add implements into your fast, such as exogenous ketones, exogenous electrolytes, coffee, tea, lemon water, things like this, yes, you probably can get away with a fast and stay in a fasted state. You're going to stay in a fat burning mode and all that stuff because you're having so little amount of calories, if any at all, it's not going to knock you out of the fast. However, there is a chance in my brain that tells me anytime that you're asking your body to do anything, such as if you're having coffee or tea that's caffeinated, you're going to be having a stimulant. So all of a sudden, your endocrine system has to jump on board, and something gets excited inside your system, and it has to work. Anytime your insides have to do some kind of work or some form of work, especially your digestive system, you're basically going to be knocking yourself out of a fast. I don't see solid enough research out there just yet telling me 100% sure that coffee and tea and these beverages that have no calories in them are going to not produce an effect in your body that's going to take you off a fast. So I don't want to risk it because I do fasting because I do biohacking and I'm trying to reverse the aging process and I want to optimize my hormones and I want to get an HGH spike as much as possible, human growth hormone. So in order to do that, I'm willing to go hardcore and just go water and sea salt. And if you want to go hardcore and get like the massive deep benefits of fasting, the autophagy, the stem cell dump, the boost of immunity and all that kind of stuff, then I highly suggest you teach yourself how to go completely legit and just water and sea salt and nothing else. So that's my take on that during a 48-hour fast. Coming out of a 48-hour fast, what do you want to eat? I get that question sometimes. Well, what you don't want to eat is a high amount of fiber, a high amount of fat, a high amount of sugar, or you will be paying the consequence. You'll be running to the bathroom many, many times. I promise you that. Now, don't get me wrong. Even if you come out of a fast pretty super clean and legit, there still can be a laxative effect. Just be on guard for that, especially if you're doing a lot of sea salt during your fast, because it's mineral rich with electrolytes, especially magnesium. Magnesium can have a laxative effect. So be careful of that coming out of a fast. Now, the best way to break it, though, theoretically, would be something that's very easy to digest, such as soup, bone broth, steamed vegetables. Bananas are pretty good. Sauerkraut, kimchi, prebiotics and probiotics, steamed asparagus. These type of things are good to break a fast with. Again, you don't want to have a huge amount of food either because you're going to overload your digestive system and you will have a laxative effect. I almost guarantee it. So some of my, go-tos when I'm coming out of a fast, sometimes I'll just drink kombucha. That'll get me out of a fast instantly. It'll get you out of a fast too. Trust me. So if you're thinking about drinking kombucha during a fast, don't do it. It's not going to work because your fast will be over in 2 seconds. Yeah, kombucha's lower in calories and sugar than, say, soda pop is. However, it still will have enough of an effect on your blood sugar to take you out of the fast. So I don't suggest doing it. Coming out of the fast, kombucha is definitely really good because it is a probiotic as well. Okay, let's talk about a diet protocol to boost your immune system. So what we're all thinking about right now is, how can I boost my immunity with this crazy virus that's going on? Well, it's pretty obvious. Stay away from the crap. I mean, it's basic nutrition 101. Eat as clean a diet as you can. Stick to Mother Nature as much as possible. Avoid hormones, antibiotics, high fructose corn syrup, anything that's processed, anything that has artificial sweeteners, flavors, colors, all that jazz in it. Stay the heck away from all that stuff. Eat really nutrient-dense foods that have a high amount of vibrational energy to them, such as greens, such as broccoli, cauliflower, red beets. Beets are really good because they have an NO2 effect on the system too. Obviously, fasting is super beneficial. I'm not going to say his name, but there was a video I watched about 2 weeks ago, and a pretty well-known guy, a doctor, was talking about the coronavirus and fasting right now. And he was suggesting do not do longer fasts. Don't go 4 days, don't go 5 days, because your cortisol levels increase. Hold on, I got a message coming in. And it's going to compromise your immunity. I'm not so sure I agree with what he was saying. He was saying just go 48 hours and no more than that. And he was even skeptical about that. I feel if you build a solid foundation with your body before this thing even came to town, through the medium of clean eating, dietary, get a good amount of dietary fiber in, because fiber is really good for improving your gut health overall. Eating a high fiber diet, working on your immunity, eating clean food, doing a time-restricted eating protocol, and then popping in a longer fast here and there to keep boosting your immunity over and over again, and also getting that good stem cell dump when it's over with. If you've been doing that coming up to this point, personally, I think you're going to be fine doing a longer fast in the coronavirus. Shh, don't tell anybody. So this theory of cortisol levels rising, if your cortisol levels rise, that also means that basically your body goes into fat storage mode. And that's why they say cortisol is a stress hormone that causes weight gain, because if cortisol gets jumpy, insulin gets jumpy, your body goes into fat storage mode. Okay. But the problem I have with that is when I do fasting, if I do a 48-hour fast or a longer one, I did a 4-day fast. I don't know if you guys remember. I did a video on that last month. I lost 12 pounds in 4 days. So something in my brain tells me that cortisol was not out of whack, because if it is out of whack and it's off the charts, you're not going to be able to burn fat, you're not going to lose weight. It's going to be the complete opposite. You're going to store it, you're probably going to gain it. So something in that whole story doesn't make sense to me. And even if you did do a 2-day fast, 3-day fast, 4-day fast, and your immunity slightly comes down a little bit, all that work you did beforehand to make yourself solid as a rock, I don't think you would be at a greater threat for the coronavirus to strike you down if you didn't follow that protocol. So something in there just doesn't make sense to me. That's just my 2 cents. Not a scientist. I am a health and fitness geek and nerd, and I nerd out on things, and I go deep research on stuff, and then I use myself as an example and as a test subject for a lot of things that I do. So you can take that with a grain of salt. But again, if you can't do a 48-hour fast, I sure as heck ain't going to tell you to do a 4-day or a 5-day fast. Either one, you still have to wean your way up to that point. It's just like learning how to lift weights or lift kettlebells. You got to wean your way up, and then you start adding the complexity as time goes on. So just know that. Now, let's talk about quinine and zinc. I saw a video earlier today. I was amazed. Well, I wasn't necessarily amazed that I didn't think of this sooner, and I don't even know how true this is. But I'm curious if any of you have seen this video floating around about quinine and zinc used in concert with each other being a good remedy and antidote for the coronavirus. I saw a video on it. By a doctor, mind you, from St. Louis, I think he was. So it wasn't just some schlub or some schlep out there talking smack. He was furious that no one knows about this, and he was talking about it, and I was just like, my eyes were just glued to the screen. Now, I've known about quinine for a long time. I've known about both for a long time. Obviously, zinc is a booster for immunity, etc., but it's also good for male health as well. And quinine, I used to work at a health food store back in Pennsylvania years ago, and there were people come in there all the time asking for quinine, or they'd ask for something for restless leg syndrome. And there was we had this homeopathic remedy on the shelf. It was basically quinine. It was named something else. It was called restless something. And quinine was the main ingredient. So way back then I was researching quinine, and I knew that it had something to do with the pleural cavity of the body, which is basically the lungs, as well as the restless leg syndrome. So when he was talking about it, instantly it resonated with me, and I was like, oh, it makes sense because the coronavirus is a lung issue. So if quinine can have any kind of effect on that, it's going to help it. As zinc as a secondary thing, I guess used together, it's some kind of synergistic effect. That was the first I heard of it working as an agent or something. So I just want to throw that out there because I'm curious if any of you saw that or you have any more understanding of it as well. Because I love to talk about this stuff because it fascinates me. I like to go the natural route with everything and try to fix things and come up with solutions to problems that don't need to be problems at all. Now, here's another thing I recognized. Went to Whole Foods yesterday, and there were about 15 people in there, all of which were wearing gloves and masks and hats backwards. Some had beanies on. And I walked in and I realized, I felt like I was in a science fiction movie. People were like staring at me out of the corner of their eye. They looked really mad. They looked really scared. They looked like they just like, I don't know what, saw something like horrific happen. And I'm just sitting there whistling, walking around with my cart, looking at everybody. And I realized something really, really bad is starting to happen. People are starting to develop bad posture because of the coronavirus. Because they're walking around like this. And their eyes are like half open. And they look like super nervous, super scared. And guess what? When you think of fear and poverty and like bad things, you attract more bad things. And if you walk around like this all day long or sit like this all day long, you're attracting bad posture. Nobody was upright like this. You should be walking around with your shoulders back and your eyes straight ahead or up at a slight angle with a smile on your face. And you should be thinking happy thoughts and doing happy things and doing good deeds. And when you start allowing this to happen all day long and you're looking at people like either like they're going to stab you or you're going to stab them, that's a bad thing. So I suggest going out there and just being happy and thinking positive thoughts and don't attach to too many things. And one more thing about this. All I've been hearing about, like the deaths on the coronavirus and stuff that I hear about, I don't watch the news. I just like get secondhand information. People send me links and stuff. It looks to me like, I just want to know, this is a pending question to me. What statistic or like how many people have died or even have gotten the coronavirus that are healthy, that do think happy thoughts, that are fit, that do exercise all the time, that do eat clean diets, that do fasting, that do all the things, that do all the things a lot of you people do. I want to know the statistics on those people because I haven't heard of a single person in that spot who's gotten it. What I have heard behind the scenes through people that are close friends of mine that dig deep into this, they have told me people that are super fit have gotten it and they've had it for like 2 days and it disappeared. And I have no fact or research on that. Again, I'm just saying what I've heard. So I'm curious if any of you have heard any of those stories, or if any of you have heard of anyone who's been thinking happy thoughts, taking care of their health, been in good shape, that have gotten it or have died from it. So that's what I need to know. Anyway, that's it. If you have any more questions or comments about the 48-hour fast, let me know and hit me up. Like I said, I'm about 22 hours in. I'm super stoked because my energy's going through the roof. My hunger has already been stabilized. I'm going to go out and get some, well, it's getting cloudy now. The sun was out before. I'd love to go out and get some vitamin D because it, well, you know, it helps with all the hormone balancing. It helps boost testosterone. I mean, what more better way naturally to boost your T levels than to go out and get some sunshine? It's fantastic. That's why I'm wearing a wife beater today, too. Anyway, this is K-Rail reporting live for K-Rail's Corner. And if you have any questions or comments, always feel free to hit me up. And also make sure to like and share our videos and subscribe to our YouTube page. Till next time, have a wonderful day.